The Jake the Snake promo. Explain to me why this guy, if you wanted to push a stupid gimmick like the Dork Order, explain to me why Jake the Snake is not the fucking exalted one leader of the Dark Order, because he could talk you into doing shit you didn't want to do. He has many times in the wrestling business talked people into doing shit they didn't want to do. You would believe him as a cult leader. You would believe him as somebody that was smarter than everybody else. You would believe him as somebody that was evil to the core and deceptive and cunning and manipulative.
Because he is.
And everything, because he is. He's being himself, and he's getting himself over. I'm not sure Archer, maybe not so much. But every time Jake speaks, Jake gets over. So why not have him as the leader of the Dork Order, because nobody else in that is or it will ever be over, and have Brody Lee come in on his own without that baggage of that horrible, fat, sloppy, masked fuck and his band of merry misfits dragging him down. Did they misplace all this shit, or is it just me?
I could see what you're saying. I think I'm not sold on Jake with Archer. I mean, we haven't even seen Archer wrestle yet other than the little vignette video, but I'm not sold on them together. And you do have a point about Jake being perfect for that role as a slimy, noted piss drinker, evil cult leader. Like, he works as that. You know, we talked last week. I'm not a big fan of these vignettes. I'm okay with a vignette if there's a plausible reason why the camera is there. And this one started off that way. It's Jake, you know, his fireside chat.
Yeah.
And there's a camera in front, and then all of a sudden there's a camera on the side. I almost feel like they should do something to explain why everyone has access to a production team. Like, say, like, you know, Tony Khan got this unlimited budget from his dad, and what he decided to do is he got a bunch of film students, and he's given each main event wrestler a film student so that whenever they feel like they want to make a video to tell the world what they're thinking or what they're feeling or make it stylized, they have access to their own personal film student for, you know, 6 months. And then after 6 months, you switch it up and you get a whole new batch of film students in there. Because everyone had a vignette. Like, every vignette on this
now, I'm actually going to say now you're overthinking this.
Maybe.
It's a television program, so if a guy's sitting there talking, I can understand, yes, it's the thing now. If you're doing a sit down, you got one camera in front of you, one camera shooting on the side. You see it in other documentary programs. You even see it in other sporting programs and events. The UFC or whatever will do some of that. If a guy's just talking, then that's fine, because that doesn't expose anything. When there's physicality, when there's guys supposedly fighting, but yet you can see that there's editing and there's room for retakes and there's all this stuff, and this is supposed to be spontaneously happening, but then you got multiple camera angles that are already set up and etc. That's when it's bullshit. I thought it was bullshit in the WWF in the 90s, and I still think it's bullshit. They started, you know, when wrestling got a budget, they started doing things that were counterproductive to making it look realistic, which is the whole point of the thing. So, but that only affects me not on just promos where a guy's talking, because we know it is a television program and they're not going to want to use a VHS tape. But when there's physicality, when there's supposedly a fight, when something goes wrong and there's obvious, you know, editing for this thing and preparation for this thing that just broke loose, was not supposed to happen, wasn't pre-planned, fuck that. That just kills it.
But you see, I look at it like with this specific one, Jake is doing this great promo, basically threatening Cody. He's staring right into the camera. Having the second camera there on the side I thought was stupid, was a bad decision. You just wanted a one camera for the maximum impact of him staring there, threatening Cody.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it made a lot of sense, but I can forgive it.
Okay, all right.
You don't have to plead it to me anymore. I'm just saying it's not an expose. It's just overproduction. But so I'm not sure where Archer stands in all of this. I think Archer needs a manager. If MJF wasn't already doing everything else, and he has Wardlow, but Archer needs a smaller manager because Jake is as big as he is, and needs a fucking little Weasley manager that can take some bumps so Archer don't have to. And, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens.